Welcome, everyone, to the fourth week in our current homily series, The Greatest Invitation. You might have heard in previous videos the statistic that only 2% of Christians invite a friend to church. That's why this week we are emphasizing that exercising the invite pillar of following Jesus is not just for a select few. We might tend to think of missionaries in far off, distant lands setting up churches and schools and medical clinics when we think of spreading the faith. But the church spends a lot of time in its teaching talking about how bringing our faith into the world is the role and responsibility of each and every one of us. Think of the gospel reading from this past weekend. Jesus performs an incredible work of removing an unclean spirit from someone. And we hear at the end of the passage that all were amazed and asked one another, "What is this? A new teaching with authority?" Jesus' fame spread everywhere throughout the whole region of Galilee. Now, people witnessed Jesus' amazing works and heard the power of his teaching, and his fame spread. And I think it's clear that his fame spread because the people shared about their encounter with Jesus with others. It wasn't just the 12 apostles or even just the person being healed. When I hear the people, I think of everyday people caring for their families and working the daily grind of their time. People probably not so different from you and I, were impacted by his message and actions and shared about it so much that it spread everywhere throughout the whole region of Galilee. Now, we cannot ignore that this is uncomfortable for a lot of us. It's one thing to pray for people who are disconnected from the church family, but to actually invite, that can be awkward. It can backfire. We might be judged. There's a lot of excuses to choose from. It's not always easy, but we have experienced life change by accepting God's saving love and choosing to follow Jesus. How can we possibly contain that? Think of it this way. Doesn't a true friend want what's best for you? A true friend helps us grow into the best version of ourselves, right? Well, as followers of Jesus, we know that the key ingredient to becoming the best version of ourselves is to follow Jesus, because that's what it means to live life the way it's meant to be lived. We all want our friends, family, our coworkers to experience the joy of living life to the fullest and having eternal life, living life the way it's meant to be lived, which happens when we follow Jesus. It's not about a secret agenda, as if we only want to befriend people so they register with the church and then when that's done, mission accomplished. No, it's about genuinely caring about people and wanting to see them make the most of life and to live the way they were born to live in the company of God, who is love, and in the church family, God's family. We want them to thrive. And as followers of Jesus, we know the way to do that. Here's a practical tip to start to invest more relationally in someone disconnected from the church. I learned about this at a small group conference that I attended at a Catholic church. This tip comes from a Protestant pastor named Rick Warren, and I think it has a lot of merit for us in the Catholic Church too. It's an acronym called SPEAK, and it's a tool to help us engage in genuine conversation with people who are disconnected from the church. So here's the acronym. S stands for story. Invest in people by asking about their stories and take a genuine interest in it. P stands for passions. Discover what aspects of life or interests they're enthusiastic about. And E is for encouragement. Encouragement. When listening to people as they share their stories and passions, see if you can identify ways they might need to be encouraged a little bit. We all need encouragement. A is for abilities. Identify what gifts that person has. And finally, K is for knowledge. Discover something that that person knows that you don't, and take an interest in what they have to share. So, story, passions, encouragement, abilities, and knowledge. That's the SPEAK acronym. And incorporating these elements into your next interaction with someone that you know who's disconnected from the church or faith is a pretty sure way of investing in that relationship and demonstrating that you really care. This will also make it more genuine when the time comes for you to share your story, including your faith, because you've sincerely invested your time and care into them. So take the next step. Be on the lookout for an opportunity to practice speak and see how it might take your connection with that person to a deeper level. Now be sure to subscribe to get these videos and questions sent to your email each week so that you don't miss a beat as we continue in our journey of following Jesus and the greatest invitation. We'll see you next time.